before the break, that the people destroying the nation all have backup plans to escape to another place. This they do not view as their home. This is a temporary settlement for them to make as much money as possible. They're actively involved in destroying this nation. They're a parasitic force on the republic. And what the MAGA movement represents, if we were ever given a fair hearing in the media, I wrote a whole book on it called The MAGA Doctrine. It's probably about time to bring back that book, given Trump is going to be the nominee, are people such as myself and you that find it borderline treason to say that you have a backup plan. We're going down with the ship. We're here to fight. I love this country. My family helped build this country. And I find those of you that serve two masters to be repulsive. That's what MAGA is about, amongst many other things. I had a conversation once, I won't say who it is, but Stacy on our team and many other people can attest that it happened. I think producer Andrew wasn't there, but he heard about it. And it was a conversation with a donor. And he said, I didn't like the outcome of the 2020 election, and I'm rescinding my citizenship, and I'm going to Indonesia. Not Indonesia, Singapore. Big difference. Same region, big difference. I'm going to Singapore. I said, really, why? He said, this country's done, it's toast. He said, I don't want to go down with the ship, and I want my family to be safe. Very, very wealthy person. Very, very wealthy person. And I got really fired up. And I eventually said, good riddance, adios. We don't talk anymore. And, he's over there. And I said, well, at least you're doing it. At least you're renouncing the citizenship. And he did. He renounced the citizenship. And he was complaining to me about how hard it was. Oh, it takes 3 or 4 different things, and you have to keep on filling out paperwork to renounce it. So he has renounced his American citizenship. Goodbye. A lot of elites like that. Very, very, very wealthy people. So I just want you to know, MAGA are the people that are not going to leave to the Canary Islands. MAGA are people that are not going to flee to Fiji. MAGA are people that are not going to go get an apartment in Bern. MAGA are people that are going to fight to the bitter end. MAGA is comprised of people, by the way, that honestly couldn't leave if they wanted to. East Palestine, Ohio. Their parents helped build this country. They love this country. And then they see the kleptocrats. By the way, your Republican Party is staffed with people with backup plans. I hope you understand how powerful this is psychologically. You might say, well, Charlie, do they really love this country and all this? They all in their head think that their kids will end up going to school in Paris, or they'll have a home in the Pacific. Just get on the jet and leave. Get out. You and I find that way of thinking to be treason. Does Joe Biden really think that his grandkids are going to be here in this country? Deep down, he probably wants to make sure they have a war chest enough that they can visit America from time to time, but their true home will be elsewhere. This psychology is widespread. So therefore, they just say, let's make as much money as we possibly can. Let's get as much money as let's get as much power as we can and rule over the colony. Rule over the place. And they know there is no easier way to destroy a populist nationalist movement than bring in a bunch of foreigners. You bring in a bunch of Ilhan Omars, which they're doing, millions and millions and millions. 1 in 7 people in America were born somewhere else. There's more Spanish spoken than English of people under the age of 35 in the state of California. And it's happening at a rapid rate. Because the people doing it will never have to live under the consequences of their actions. The Founding Fathers warned us about this in the Federalist Papers. This is why they've said that anybody who passes a law must live under the consequences of the law that they pass. But whether it be immigration, school choice policy, firearms, private jets, natural gas emissions, the elites are able to carve out their own lifestyle so that they do not have to live under the consequences of their traitorous, their treasonous and their duplicitous action. No man can serve two masters. And the elites in this country, the oligarchs and the kleptocrats, many Republicans and almost all the Democrats, they look at the country and they say, it's bigoted, it's racist, it's misogynistic. It's the 1619 Project. It shouldn't come as a surprise when you have the 1619 Project by Nicole Hannah-Jones that writes about how terrible this country is, and they love Nicole Hannah-Jones, and then all of a sudden they're doing things to destroy the country. Many of these kleptocrats, they don't have to send their kids to schools filled with foreign kids. They send them to lily white schools. The people that are all against racism have gated communities that if a black person came within their gated community, they'd call security immediately. Join me in fighting against racism. Why is that black person on my lawn? You think Gavin Newsom's kids are going to a high school where Spanish is the dominant language? Do you think Gavin Newsom has to live in a home where a random illegal is going to break in and murder him? Of course not. Because they design policies that will destroy the nation and ruin it, but will not impact them. So MAGA and the power of MAGA, and Trump beautifully leads this, is tens of millions of people that are stating, we're not leaving. That's MAGA. That we can't leave. We love this country. We love what it's done for us. We love our Constitution. We love our history. We love our traditions. And we hate what is being done to it. There is a potential destabilizing political event that is going to happen in the next 12 to 14 months. And I don't mean just the election. The elites have created a tinderbox. And then they, of course, have the gumption and the gall to blame the everyday man for the tinderbox that they created. It's your fault. It's Christian nationalists' fault. It's the deplorables' fault, even though they're the ones that created the preconditions for this. And the destabilizing event is going to look like something where the everyday man, the muscular class, they look around and they say, wait a second. The people in charge in both political parties hate us. You can only abuse the middle class so much before they fight back. This is Donald Trump in Iowa this last weekend, play cut 15.
We're going to do a big deportation. We're going to get those bad ones out. Remember, mental institutions, prisons, and terrorists are pouring into our country. I will immediately restore and expand the Trump travel ban on entry from terror-plagued countries, and I will implement strong ideological screening on all immigrants. We have no choice. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and you're not going to come into our country.
That's the minimum criteria. And yet the people that run the companies, they say, well, we need more workers. We need more workers. We need more workers. Why don't you hire Americans? Why don't you hire American workers? Oh, because it costs too much. And they ask too many questions. You'd rather hire some obedient third worlder to go work for you than having an American worker. The black community should be so insulted by this, by the way. If we ever had a fair hearing in the media, mass immigration is a daily and relentless middle finger to black America every single day. So understand that the struggle in front of you are the masters of America, the oligarchs, are people that will never have to live in the dystopia that they're creating because they'll just go to elsewhere and go ruin someplace else. And you see this, by the way, on a state level. This is not an exaggeration. I hear all, the people say, oh, Austin, Texas is the new San Francisco, and all these liberals are moving to Austin. So they ruin San Francisco and turn it into a hellhole. Then they'll go to Austin, and Austin is awful. Holy cow. Travis County, they have destroyed that city. Homelessness, vagrancy, it is terrible. So they'll destroy Austin even further, and then they'll move to Miami, and then they'll destroy Miami. These people are parasites. They don't build anything. The tech liberals, where have they ever presided over a city and it's been better 20 years after their influence? Is Seattle better? Is San Francisco better? Is Austin better? Of course not. And it's all orchestrated, all by design. They go and make all this money. They donate to all the open the prisons, open jail, white privilege, virtue signaling garbage. They get their penthouses, defund the police. Oh, wow, it's so dangerous here. Let's go to the next place. And let's go to the next place. They don't preserve or conserve anything. And by the way, the Wall Street people have done that the same in New York, and now they're going down to Miami. They want to create Miami to be the new New York. And we should be, no, you're not welcome in Miami, actually. We don't need the money in Miami. I'm going to Miami this weekend. Why the elites of Miami, including the Miami mayor, is so excited to welcome all this Wall Street money? Say, no. If you guys are so wonderful and such a great influence in our community, why is Chicago a mess? Why is New York a mess? No, you're not welcome in Miami, actually. So they do the ribbon-cutting Republicans. ReliefFactor.com.